What do you think? A knife? Look, this was down there. Look, this piece of crap. And then look. Greetings and welcome again to Drama in the Dirt. I just got in from a little fundraising and my cheeks might be a little rosy. I dress as a clown and tie balloon animals. It's called balloon modeling for the young people at the festival this whole weekend. But anyway, I'm glad you're with us. I don't have a whole lot of digs to share. I do have some updates to share. I did get a bucket lister though this past week, which I was just delighted to find. And then I'll do a little history on the item that I found. And I'll update you on the street tear out, and then a special little thing that I found that I was not sure what it was, so you'll get to see that. And then there'll be a montage of our other series that I have created. If you haven't seen any of those episodes, I fashion relics into throwing blades, then I throw them at targets, and I have created a series on that, and it's called Throwing Recovered Iron Blades. I always have trouble with the name. I started out with dug iron, and then I decided to go with recovered iron. So I'll have a little montage in here of that, throwing the blades, axes. There'll be axes. Well, thank you again for being here, and God bless and keep you. I trust that you enjoy what you see today. If you do, I would love for you to subscribe and like. And please join us next Saturday for Drama in the Dirt. All right, let's have a laugh together. Let me see here. This has been failed, there's no doubt about it. I'm going to cut myself. What do you think? A knife? It's kind of neat, doesn't it? Oh, well, let me dig back. Need a pair of pliers. I don't know what that is. Get the big shovel. Gotta mash it. Looks like a piece of flatware. Yeah, it's plated. Butter knife. Twisted up too. So twisted. Think I can straighten it out without busting it? Look, this was down there. Look, this piece of crap. And then look, finally got a key, a brass key. It's different, but look how beautiful it is. And you just scratch it. Oh, finally. Suppose that's like a mailbox? I'll probably just clean it anyway. Try to get that scratch out of it. Sweet. I like that. A little history of the CCC&I. After its formation in 1868, it sought to make connection to Cincinnati. This connection was never realized by its predecessor line, the Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati Railroad, which only ran trains between Cleveland and Columbus. By 1872, the CCC&I made agreements to operate the Cincinnati and Springfield Railroad between Cincinnati and Dayton, and the Cincinnati, Sandusky, and Cleveland Railroad between Dayton and Springfield, finally providing a through route from Cleveland to Columbus to Cincinnati. In 1889, the CCC and I merged with the lines in Indiana and Illinois to form the Cleveland, Cincinnati, Chicago, and St. Louis Railway, known as the Big Four route. It eventually became part of the New York Central Railroad. I am blessed to have found that key, a true piece of history. Just briefly, I have a street tear out update, and as you can see, not a whole lot to write home about. Bits of iron, old nails, all in concrete. Anchor, a nut for an anchor bolt for probably a light, shut off some sort. It's yellow, so I assume it's gas. Huge washer. Some kid was probably out playing in the dirt. Car. Now, does that look? Does that or does that not look like a smashed bullet? And possibly a 3-rounder. Not sure I'll ever know. So there it is, dirt and all. That's part of electrical, old-fashioned electrical box, knockout. I think that's a meter seal, one of the old-timey lead ones. Part of it, half of it. So that's it. I'll let you know if I strike it though. This piece I dug out of a crack in the street. I didn't think much about it at the time, so I kind of scraped it with my nail like that, and I said, well, it's just a chunk of brass. Well, it turns out it's not brass. Therefore, I took it to a jeweler and had him do it. First thing he did was do a magnet test, and I had a magnet right here next to my chair, and I just didn't think about it. The only thing that I can figure, obviously we know it's not solid brass. I'm thinking maybe an alloy of nickel and brass. Nickel is magnetic. Now this will not stick to a weak magnet, but one of those real powerful ones, you'll feel it. I did find a little information on brass, what they call nickel brass, but it's only like 5.5% nickel, so I don't know whether that would be enough to make it stick to a magnet or not. If I get any updates on it, I will try to let you know exactly what alloy this is. I would like to know myself. I soaked it in toilet bowl cleaner when I got home, and it shined up pretty good. Obviously, like anyone else, I was hoping for the best, that it was some alloy of gold. At this point, I'm not certain which way I'll head. I'll try to do some more research online. A little better idea of possibly what alloy it could be. It is heavy. One person on Facebook, she was a jeweler, Wilma, and I appreciate her comment. She thought it looked like what they called a jeweler's gold tailing, which I assume they would heat it and use little bits of it to size rings. However, it was not to be gold, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, I know quite a bit about gold. I used to prospect. After I got it cleaned, I certainly noticed that it did not look like pure gold, like 22 karat or what we call placer gold or gold nugget. It was just too hard. I hope to know someday just exactly, you know, what type of metal that is. Came up with this nickel brass alloy, 5% nickel. I can't imagine that being very magnetic though. Oh right, I've got a piece of brass at the bottom on the 5-gallon bucket, and then the piece I dug up, I was going to run the max over it, see what kind of numbers we get. So I've got it on low sensitivity. Here's 0 to 65, 67. So we know that's not brass. That's what brass sounds like. 66, 67. Oh, I was afraid to get it. Excited. Hey, hi.
Watch my kids so that Ashley and I can come back here tonight. And
We got
watch
two
the game.
diggers here. This
Hey.
guy's been absent forever, and you've been, what, 2 months off the air?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I had to be a real boy and get a job.
Yeah, I used to have a job.
Hey.
Luke, speak. He's almost driving now, right?
Close.
That means you'll get around and maybe go digging with us, right?
Good. I could be the chauffeur.
You promise?
Be the chauffeur.
Pinky promise.
You know?
Scouts honor.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you on the show tonight.
I will do.
I'll try to get it up tonight.